All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I have even more documents to review from the custody court case governing the parent-child relationship between Britney Spears and Kevin Federline and their children. Hi there, I'm Professor Blackmore and welcome back to my channel. And I just want to let you know that the whole reason for this video surrounds one word, and that is the word monitor that Britney Spears communicated in her recent Instagram story. And I wanted to get to the bottom of confirming that she has to have a monitor present during her visitations with her children. And so if you want to find out, you'll have to stick around until the end. But first, let me put the evidence in the record. And in my prior video, I talked to you about this interesting court document filed by the attorneys of Kevin Federline just recently in July of 2022. And so, if you want to get caught up on all of the interesting details of why I do not believe that Britney Spears is even represented by counsel in this custody case, since the conservatorship case and the conservatorship has been dissolved, and if you want to get caught up on all the explosive details surrounding Britney Spears' recent clapback on K-Fed and how he clapped back to the clapback and really even how Britney came back and clapped back to that clapback, please watch my prior videos and I'll place a direct link in the description section below. And I also want to let you know that if you want to become a member of the jury of today's court proceedings and view all of the court documents that I have on my docket, please consider becoming an exclusive member of the ProfessorBlackmore.com jury. And I'll also place a direct link for this in the description section below. And so let's jump right in. Now, I want to go back to some of the original court custody hearings, which reveal rulings of the court that remain in place in this case that have been modified over the years as a result of requests made by Kevin Federline and some made by Britney Spears. And the document that I want to review today is the minute order originally entered by the court on October the 3rd, 2007, but which was carried over in the court's most recent rulings in this matter in September of 2018, when Britney was still represented by the conservatorship's attorneys, the attorneys that were retained by the conservatorship, of which conservatorship has been dissolved, so she has no attorneys. But anyway, and so this ruling from 2007 was carried over in those 2018 proceedings as reflected here in the margin of this document, when the court as late as 2018 conducted follow-up psychiatric, mental health, and drug and alcohol assessments on Britney Spears to ascertain if the custody and visitation could be expanded in her favor. And I'll address this also in just a minute. And so, because Britney originally filed this divorce suit against K-Fed, so even now she will be referred to as the petitioner in this matter, even when Kevin Federline files motions in the court requesting relief. So, as you can see here, the nature of these particular proceedings at that time was an application filed by the respondent, Kevin Federline. And this is the court's order, which starts out by noting that at any time the court can, on its own motion, if shown to be in the best interest of the children, require modification or termination of the current joint custody order. Now, if you watched my first video on this matter, you will remember that Britney's husband, her current husband, Sam, Asghari posted the following in his Instagram stories. Quote, "The boys are very smart and will be 18 soon to make their own decisions." And at that time, I cautioned Britney and her husband that they may be free from the conservatorship, but the custody case remains until the children turn age 18. And I think they realize this, but I don't think they realize the gravity of it and what it all means. And so it means that this matter remains within the jurisdiction of the court custody judge. And this is also reflected here in the court's October the 3rd, 2007 order, which states the court may, during the pendency of a proceeding or at any time thereafter, make an order for the custody of a child during minority that seems necessary and proper. And so when it says minority, it means under age 18. And so if Britney cares anything about being in the life of these children, she will have to act like it for at least the next 3 years. And so that's something that her and her husband need to keep in mind. And so at that time, in 2007, the court imposed the following terms and conditions that I found very interesting. Now, here on page 11, the court states, based on the evidence presented, the court finds that there is a habitual, frequent, and continuous use of controlled substances and alcohol by the petitioner. And I know this should not come to any surprise by anyone who remembers the news from back then. But nobody, including Britney Spears' father, made her make any of the decisions she made then or any of the decisions that she's making now. And so she could decide that her children are important to her. And she could decide that she wants to make decisions that can help to dig herself out of this hole that she dug, that she dug for her own self. And let me stop right there and say this. You know, everybody wants to try to say that all of Britney's problems is linked to a conservatorship. But anybody who really remembers what was going on knows that child would be, she would be dead right now if her father had not taken it up on himself, put his foot down, and had that conservatorship put in place. So if anybody wants to clap back at me on that, they can do it if they want to. But since that time, she has had every opportunity to pull herself together on her own volition and get herself together for her children. So when we're having court custody hearings in 2018 and she's coming in there and they're testing her for her psychiatric well-being and it comes back as a no-go, and then they test her for drugs and alcohol and that comes back positive, well, is that the fault of a conservatorship? I'm gonna wait till the end when I have my question session, so I'll just let y'all wait till then to answer all those questions. But anyway, now, if you watch my last video on this topic, you'll remember that Britney posted a long 2-page cuckoo for Cocoa Puff statement in her Instagram stories after K-Fed posted the videos of her screaming the F word at her children during one of their visitations with her. Now, this was the Instagram story wherein she states, which I thought was just completely insane, but she says, "The situation should have 100% been dealt with privately and definitely not online." And I thought that was completely throwed since she posts every damn thing online. But anyway. Then she said something that got me to doing some legal research. I just thought it was so odd when she said the monitor would tell me that he just likes to be in his room. And I just, at that time, she was upset because when the kids came to visit her, they would just come in the house and they just run straight past her into their rooms. But I thought it was extremely outrageous that the court would still think she needs to have a monitor present during times when her children are visiting with her. So, when you read the court order, which is also the basis of the 2018 rulings that are currently in place as we speak, the court notes on page 15 that it finds that based on the evidence presented and recorded within the transcript of the proceedings, the petitioner, Britney Spears, was not in substantial compliance with material provisions of the court's September 17, 2007 order. Then the court puts the following in bold type: the minor children shall remain in the custody of the respondent, i.e. K-Fed, with the exception of those specific dates and times as ordered by the court in the transcript of the proceedings, end quote. And then the court states further in big bold letters, pending the further order of the court, all visitation with the petitioner, i.e. Britney Spears, shall be in the presence of a monitor. And so I'll just tell you that the court used the word material when it stated that she was not in compliance with material provisions of the court's order because it didn't want to put her business all out here in the streets by saying what she specifically did to be in non-compliance. But that was the reason that the court ordered the court monitor. And so when you go back and look at the record in the recent court hearings in 2018, all of the psychiatric testing, all of the mental health assessments, all of the drug and alcohol assessments that were conducted, thank goodness she had a conservatorship, because those conservatorship attorneys have blocked all of that stuff from being in the public view. But if you look back, this matter was again reviewed. And it was reviewed for the purpose of seeing if they could expand the visitation, the custody in Britney's favor. And the court found that it could not. And so if Britney is putting all her business, she's putting her own business in the streets, and she is posting in her Instagram stories talking about a monitor all the way here in 2022, when we will have no reason to know about a monitor because most of these records have been redacted. They have been sealed so that most of them you cannot see. So you have to be able to do good legal research to be able to go into the records and see what's going on, like yours truly. But anyway, and so you should ask yourself, why would the court have ordered that she still needs to have a court ordered monitor during her visitation? And that is because she's not stable. The court is doing that in the best interest of the children, for the protection of these minor children who are under age 18. And so if Britney was in substantial noncompliance of material provisions when the review was done in 2018, are we going to blame her father and the conservatorship for that too? But as you know, as always, I just ask and report, and I'll let you decide. So what do you think about all of this? At some point, are we going to let Britney Spears be responsible for her own actions and grow the hell up and be a proper parent to her children before it's too late? Or are we going to continue to blame her mama, her daddy, her sister, Kevin Federline, and everybody else for her lack of interest in moving heaven and earth to prove to her sons that she gives a damn? Please let me know by leaving your comments in the comments section below. And if you want to become a member of the ProfessorBlackmore.com jury and view all of the documents that I have on my court docket, please consider becoming an exclusive member of the ProfessorBlackmore.com jury by using the direct link in the description section below. And I hope you'll give me a big thumbs up. And I also want to ask that you please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell so you'll be notified whenever I come back with even more hot tea psychodrama on this case. And please also follow me on TikTok and Instagram.